World History students. This is Dr. Fagan. I am going to be your instructor this semester, and I just wanted to make a quick video to walk you through the course, what you can expect, where to find everything that you're going to need to be successful, and to just kind of give you an overview so that you are starting on the right foot. So once you've logged into D2L and clicked on our course, you'll find a page that looks like this. At the top, you see the standard navigation bar. This looks like every other course that you take at GHC. You can use it to come back to the course home, to access the syllabus or the content. If you want to go directly to one of our graded assignment sections, you can use the assignments or the quizzes. There are discussions in this course, but they don't use the discussion board. They use Perusall, and I'll walk you through that in a minute. But for now, in terms of the discussion board, you can use that to ask questions about the course. There's also a communication section. You can go to the announcements or the calendar. The modules in this course do include checklists to make sure that you're on track. So you can click on that here or go to email. And then you can access your grades at any point by clicking on this tab. Below the standard navigation bar is kind of our course navigation bar. It's a course resources section that will give you the links that you'll find most helpful in the course. Again, you can access the syllabus here or the course schedule. If you click on the course schedule, you can see that it breaks down the course week by week, including the dates and what you need to submit each week, what the graded assignments are. Below that are the grading expectations, the contact information. I host my office hours for online classes using Teams, so you can access that here during my office hours or sign up for an appointment if my office hours don't work for you. You can also access extra credit. The extra credit is available right from the beginning, so feel free to take advantage of that at any point. And because this big assignment in this course is a case study, a weekly case study, I have a link to some information that can help you with that. I'm not going to go over the case study in this video because I have other videos later that walk you through it, but I just wanted to show you where you can find information about the case study at any point. And then finally, there's an FAQ document. These answer questions, or this document answers questions that I get quite a bit, so you can always access that. Below the course resources is a link to go to the course content. If you click on this button, it'll take you to the content section, and you can see that our course is divided into weekly modules. You are in Start Here, so you're working your way through the overview with this video, and then you'll have, so there's the course syllabus, the schedule, an infographic that lays out the framework of the course, all of the information that you need about kind of what you're expected to do and how you'll be graded in the course. This course uses video lectures instead of a standard textbook. So there's a section in this overview on how to use it. There's a video that walks you through that, and then a link to the video lecture textbook. We are in World History since 1500, so that's this section over here, and you can see that the modules correspond with the modules in the content. The course does use Perusall for our discussions, and there's a video on how to use Perusall. There's also an optional practice assignment. If you go to Perusall, you'll see that there's a syllabus review here marked optional. This is just designed to help you practice with how to use Perusall, get the hang of it before your first graded assignment, which is here. All right, so once you've made your way through the course overview, you'll start some of the kind of learning material, which is focused on what is world history and what does it mean to think historically. So you'll work your way through these videos and readings, and then the videos on what is world history. Graded assignments this week include a quiz and a Perusall discussion. Again, we're going to Perusall, that's this one. The week one discussion is the one that's required and graded. And then you'll get started on week two. Week two picks up with a kind of a more standard or normal approach to it. This is what you'll see week to week. There's always going to be a start here, an overview folder. Begin with the week 2 at a glance section. It gives you a lot of good information, beginning with a course overview, the central question for the week, learning objectives, what to expect in the case study, and a to-do list. This is important for planning purposes. Um, and then you'll have that checklist that I mentioned, a note-taking outline, and a study guide. These are designed to help keep you on track for working through the video lectures. The video lectures are listed under historical material. So you're going to work your way through those using the note-taking outline to keep you organized and the study guide to help you prepare for the quiz. So every week you will have an overview and historical material. You'll have a section on primary sources. These are the primary sources that you can use for your case study, but they are also the same primary sources that can be found in Perusall. So if you go to Perusall and you open up week 2 discussion, you'll notice that there are 3 parts. There's a video that gives you an overview of the central historical question and the case study. There is a secondary source article for you to read. And then there's a primary source packet. The primary source packet here is the same as the primary source packet here. So you have to access it in Perusall, but if you prefer when you're doing your case study to break them down separately, you can use, sorry. So what I mean is that in this one, all of the primary sources are together. You see document 1, document 2, so on and so forth. They're in the same packet. In D2L, they're broken down, so it might be easier for you to do one primary source at a time here. So that's always available. And then you have your graded assignments. Starting in week 2, you'll see that there's an addition of a case study. You still have the quiz, you still have the discussion, you also have a case study. This is the big summative assignment. This is the big graded assignment for the week. And I want you to notice that in weeks 2 through 7, you'll always have a case study. So there are 6 case studies, but you only have to do 3 of them. How you choose or which 3 you choose to do is entirely up to you. You can choose the 3 you're most interested in. You can do one every other week to space it out. You can skip weeks where outside obligations make it harder to find time to do the case study, or you can do more than 3, and I'll just take the 3 highest grades. So feel free to take advantage of that, the 3 case study requirement, however helps you the most. All right, so week 2, you'll see that week 3 looks exactly the same: overview, historical material, primary sources, and then your graded assignments, all the way until you get to kind of the last week. This course doesn't have a midterm or a final, but it does have a final reflection. It's listed as paper here, but it's actually not a paper. It's a final reflection in video form, or you can make sort of an infographic, or you can make a PowerPoint, and I will have a video later walking you through what's expected there. Okay, so let's go back to the course homepage, and I'll continue with the overview. So now that you've gone to the course content, notice that the content browser over here does the same thing. You can do that from the homepage. If you click on week 2, there's the overview, historical material, primary sources, and graded assignments. So same deal, whichever one you prefer. Below the content section is the announcements. The announcements section, I will update that a couple of times a week, 2-3 times a week. I give you an overview of what you need to do. I give feedback on the assignments that have been submitted. I give thoughts on the material that we're learning, and I give you kind of tips to stay on track. So definitely make sure that you get into a habit, or you fall into a habit of checking the announcements section whenever you can. And then finally, over here, you have the calendar, and the calendar can keep you on track. Just make sure that you're not only using the calendar, because you need, so the things that are in the calendar are the graded assignments, but you need everything in the overview and historical material and primary sources in order to do well on the graded assignments. Okay, so that is basically how the course is laid out. The last thing that I did want to show you was the syllabus. The syllabus starts with the kind of normal syllabus stuff, the course, what we'll be studying, my contact information, how to get in touch with me, the required materials, and the course learning objectives. Beyond that, you can find the course grading scheme. These are the assignments that you have for the semester. Like I said, every week you'll have a quiz and a perusal discussion. Weeks 2 through 7, there will be a case study for the week. You do three of those. Of those three from the 6 case study options. At the end of the semester, there's a final reflection and a quick 10-question multiple choice post-assessment quiz just to check in on what you've learned. It is open book, it is open note, it is worth 10 points, so you shouldn't stress out about it. It's just to give me a sense of what you've learned. Below that is an explanation of what the quizzes are like, so you can keep track of that. Or sorry, of what the assignments are like, quizzes, perusal discussions, case studies, final reflection, and the post-assessment quiz, and my late policy. Finally, there's a course schedule that shows you that the course is divided up by week. Each week has a theme and a central historical question that we're trying to answer. So that'll be listed there. Then there are the graded assignments and the due date. The assignments are always due on Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. You know your schedule, you know your obligations, you know how you work best. So how you want to spread that out over the course of the week is totally up to you, as long as all of the assignments are submitted by Sunday evening. Then there is textbook information and my generative AI statement. Make sure that you read that, as well as information about extra credit and important dates for this semester. Like I said, I created a perusal assignment, an optional perusal assignment that reviews that syllabus. So I would probably recommend just reading through it in perusal, asking any questions that you might have, making comments. That will just kind of help you go through it step by step. All right, so that's an overview of the course. Like I said, I have videos later on how to do the case study, the final reflection, how to source historical documents, more videos about the meat of the course, but this should give you a sense of how to navigate the course so that you know where to go and how to be successful. If you have any questions, I would recommend starting in the discussions section. There is a discussion forum for general questions and then weekly questions. This is a good place to ask questions because I check it regularly, but also because you might find that one of your classmates has the answer. So if you have a question, check the FAQ document and then post it here. If you still don't get an answer, feel free to reach out to me and I will be happy to answer them. All right. I look forward to working with you this semester, and let me know if you have any questions.